Relations between Ghana and the countries and institutions which so ably represent are on a positive trajectory. It would be remiss of me if I do not acknowledge the tremendous assistance I have received from your excellencies in the conduct of Ghana's relations with your respective countries and institutions.
We members of the Diplomatic Corps, on behalf of our respective heads of state and government, heads of international organizations and consular missions that we represent, also wish to congratulate you, Mr. President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and through you, the government and the people of the Republic of Ghana, on the occasion of your country's 61st independence anniversary, which you celebrate just yesterday on 6 March 2018. We wish at the onset to express our gratitude for the strengthening of both the bilateral and multilateral relations between our respective governments, international organizations, and consular missions, and the government of the Republic of Ghana in the past year, 2017. Mr. President, we from the Europe region would like to congratulate you on your first year in office and on the leadership that you have shown, not only here in Ghana, but also in the ECOWAS region and on the world stage. In Ghana, we have witnessed improvements in the economy with the return of higher growth and lower inflation. We are today enjoying better electricity supply. We trust that the structural reforms to ensure sustainable energy supply in the future will continue. We welcome the attention your government is giving to improving public financial management. The recent report of the Auditor General shows that there is much to be gained by protecting the public purse. We welcome your actions to create jobs for youth and your focus on education, as shown by the decision to provide free senior higher education. The achievement of sustainable and inclusive growth should remain a priority. Sound economic management is crucial, and the services need to reach the people throughout the country. You have said that Ghana itself should be financing its health and education services. We agree. Mr. President, the setting up of the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the appointment of a widely respected professional as Special Prosecutor shows a determination to address the problem of corruption, which we applaud. The recent deterioration in the corruption index is a reminder of the challenges facing Ghana in this area. Mr. President, you have often made the case for a Ghana beyond aid, and we welcome that approach. Aid is today only a small part of government spending. This means that Ghana is taking its own destiny in its hands and not depending on handouts. That is as it should be after 60 years of independence. Beyond aid means that more domestic resources need to be mobilized. We welcome initiatives in this area to widen the tax base and improve tax collection. Your government is focusing on the private sector and improving the business environment. Foreign investors are showing renewed interest in Ghana. It is therefore vital to show that Ghana welcomes serious investors and avoids measures which might deter them from investing here. You are also giving priority to digitalization, which provides great opportunity for rapid and widely shared development. Mr. President, your government has focused on making a difference at district level. Your recent commitment to a referendum, which would introduce local elections for district executives, responds to a long-held wish of civil society. This should not only improve local service delivery, it should also lead to greater democracy and accountability at the local level. At the regional level, we have noted the great attention you are giving to the member countries of ECOWAS. We welcome your continued commitment to regional integration. We also applaud your recent mediation in neighboring Togo. It is encouraging to see the lead that you are giving in promoting and ensuring peace and democracy in that country. Likewise, we have noticed your close relationship with Côte d'Ivoire in the amicable resolution of maritime disputes. Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire can perhaps play the role of motor of regional integration within ECOWAS that France and Germany have traditionally played in the EU. On the international stage, we commend you for your continuous stand on the international stage for the promotion of democracy, rule of law, and respect for human rights. You have taken up with great enthusiasm and skill the role of co-chair of the Sustainable Development Goals advocates. There is no doubt that the world is taking notice of Ghana today and is eager for the leadership Ghana provides on the global stage. One of the most encouraging examples of leadership of the nation over the past year has been the question of our illegal small-scale mining, Galamsey. We would like to support the government in its efforts to put an end to illegal mining and to generate sustainable jobs for young people. We do hope that sustainable solutions are sought in other areas, such as forestry and fisheries, and indeed, in making Accra a clean city. Ghana's renown as a leading light in Africa will grow as it continues to show vision and progress in these areas. Mr. President, we from North America also applaud your government's efforts towards the reduction in budget deficit, its promotion of free senior high school, combating of illegal mining, and prosecution of corruption. Mr. President, we from the Latin American region applaud you for your pursuit of sustainability and modernization of the Ghanaian economy, particularly expressed in your government's Ghana Beyond Aid agenda, public policy in promoting rapid growth in the agricultural sector through trade and investments, as well as the industrialization of Ghana. Your pro-gender policies are seeing the steady empowerment of women in the country, while Ghana continues to play a key role in peace building in the sub-region. In this regard, we are inviting the government of the Republic of Ghana to be an observer member of the Pacific Alliance, thus enabling us to advance in our relations and expand cooperation with Ghana. Mr. President, we from the Asia and the Middle East region have noted with pleasure that under your leadership, many flagship policies such as the One Village, One Dam, One District, One Factory, and Planting for Food and Jobs are steadily gaining traction through smooth implementation. We in the Asia and Middle East countries have a long and proud history of friendship and cooperation with Ghana, and we continue to be reliable partners on your way forward. Indeed, Ghana is on her way towards the realization of a nation beyond Ghana, and we are ready to contribute to higher industrialization and sustainable development guided by mutual respect. We from the Africa region witnessed with great interest your crowning in July 2017 by the United Nations Economic Forum for Africa as a gender champion for the African Union, having emphasized the importance of the girl-child education and breaking barriers to women's leadership potential. In 2017, Ghana continued to be a beacon of democracy in the African continent, with you, Mr. President, leading high-level delegations in providing support to democratic electoral processes in Liberia, promoting peace processes in Togo, providing material support to Sierra Leone in the aftermath of the Freetown mudslide, and in many ways strengthening regional institutions for peace and democracy. On behalf of the Diplomatic Corps and on my own behalf, to extend to you, Mr. President, our sincere wishes for peace, prosperity, and good health in the new year 2018 and beyond.
I'm delighted that you've been able to join me in upholding this evening our time-honored tradition of coming together at the beginning of each year to exchange messages of goodwill and to reaffirm our commitment to the ties of friendship and cooperation that bind our respective countries and peoples together. I extend a warm akwaba to all the new heads of missions who are attending this event for the first time. I hope you enjoy your stay here with us in Ghana and wish you successful tours of duty in our country. Let me begin also by thanking the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Her Excellency Ambassador Mrs. Paveline Tenda Musaka of the Republic of Zimbabwe, who has shown strong leadership in these past years. The words this evening have been reassuring and demonstrate further the commitment of the Corps to ensure the deepening and strengthening of the bilateral and multilateral relations between our various countries. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellencies, since my inauguration, I've been active with the help of the hard-working Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Shirley Ayoko Botwe, Member of Parliament for Anyaso Utu, in keeping up and promoting the historical role of Ghana within regional, continental, and global communities. I've traveled around our neighborhood and beyond. We've also witnessed unprecedented numbers of world leaders, African, Asian, and European, who have thronged our shores this past year and enjoyed our renowned Ghanaian hospitality. For me, it is an indication that we're doing something right and that the Black Star is beginning to shine once again. In all these engagements, I've reiterated the commitment of my government to moving the country from a mindset of aid, dependency, charity, and handouts in building a Ghana beyond aid, i.e., a Ghana which looks to the use of her own resources to fund her development. In this advocacy, I am not thumbing our nose at those who have helped us and continue to do so. Their help is much appreciated. I'm attempting, though, to set the stage for better relations between us all, so that the delicate and problematic relation of donor and recipient gives way to a more prosperous and enduring partnership between countries and peoples, which is hinged on the ties of trade and investment. It is the surest route to mutual prosperity. Over the course of the first year in office, we have put in place measures geared towards reviving and growing our economy. Fundamental to this has been the strengthening of our macroeconomy. The prudent and diligent management of the Ghanaian economy has led to more than a doubling of our GDP growth rate, from 3.6% in 2016 to 7.9% at the end of 2017. A decline in interest rates and inflation, the growing stabilization of our currency, the cedi, and a significant reduction in the fiscal deficit inherited, and the spectacular revival of Ghanaian industry. We're doing all of this because we want to build the most business-friendly economy in Africa and thereby engineer the social and economic growth of our country. This is the most effective way we can create wealth for our people and put our country onto the path of progress and prosperity. We're also strengthening the private sector by shifting the focus of our economic policy from taxation to incentivizing production. We've instituted a number of tax cuts and taken specific measures which will lead our country and its economy into the new digital age. These reforms are designed to make Ghana the investment destination of choice in Africa. I'm thus notifying the investment communities in your respective countries to take advantage of the growing business-friendly climate in the country to invest in Ghana. Excellencies, our commitment to regional and continental integration remains firm. With a population of 350 million, which is projected to hit 500 million by 2030, the ECOWAS community has enormous potential for transforming the lives of its citizens by making the region more attractive for trade and foreign direct investments. Likewise, implementation of the Continental Free Trade Area, which hopefully will come into play upon the execution of the treaty for its establishment at the impending AU Extraordinary Summit in Kigali in 2 weeks' time, on 21st March, will give us in Africa a great opportunity to prosecute vigorously the agenda of continental integration, not just with words, but with concrete continental projects that will benefit our populations. Ghana will continue to pursue her policy of good neighborliness through meaningful engagement with each and every member state of ECOWAS. We are conscious of our role in ensuring the consolidation of democracy, good governance, and respect for human rights, not only in ECOWAS, but throughout the entire continent of Africa. Additionally, the achievement of global peace and security is the foundation on which our collective survival and progress ultimately depend. This is as true today as it was during the era of the Cold War. Unfortunately, prominent sections of the global community seem to have forgotten about the acute anxieties that prevailed across the world for decades, elicited by the prospects of military confrontation between the nuclear powers. But it is equally important that we pay heed to the issues of climate change, youth unemployment, poverty and social exclusion, and the illicit proliferation of arms that threaten our very existence. The various targets that underpin the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals must be understood from the perspective of the existential threats that we are currently facing, so that we remain focused and committed to achieving meaningful results in the years ahead for humanity as a whole, ushering in a new global civilization that leaves no one behind. On our part, Ghana will continue to extend a hand of friendship and cooperation to all peoples in every corner of the globe. This is consistent with the innate friendly disposition of Ghanaians towards people of all races, creeds, and cultures. It is also a demonstration of our abiding belief in the principles enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations, as well as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, from which our own Constitution derives much of its substance. We remain committed to the reforms of the global political order. As I indicated at our meeting last year, the inability of the United Nations to undertake the reform of its institutions that will reflect the realities of our times and not the realities of the immediate post-war world represents a manifest injustice against the peoples of Africa. We on this continent are an integral part of the global order, and global institutions should reflect this fact. For a handful of states who emerged as the dominant powers in the world after the Second World War of the 20th century, to continue in the 21st century, to be the sole arbiters of international security, remains to us a structural deficit which the world community should no longer tolerate. Ghana continues to subscribe to the goals of the Eswatini Consensus, which embodies Africa's common position on UN reforms. And I would like to use this occasion to call for the reform of the Security Council to reflect the realities of our time. The reform would enable the Security Council to enhance its capacity to be an effective instrument for the maintenance of international peace and security in this new post-war, post-Cold War world. Ghana's commitment to the values of democracy, respect for human rights, and the rule of law will continue to shape our foreign policy. I would hereby renew the commitment to Ghana's continued collaboration with your respective countries and international organizations in order to advance further our common pursuit of greater cooperation and to deepen and strengthen our ties of friendship. As we celebrate this new year which the Almighty has blessed us up with, let us pause to reflect on the lessons of history and the wisdom bequeathed to us by those who sacrificed their lives for the freedoms and prosperity we enjoy today. I wish you and your families a very happy and prosperous new year. May God bless us all. Thank you very much.